Malakand. Can somebody confirm whether I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm audible. Okay. Once again, can you connect the context to the markets? And what we are going to do is find out the load. Load test means basically when the load is taken. And this particular test we are both are postal units. Same. And basically, what we will be doing is to find out the performance of the engine. Performance is calculated. When we are talking about efficiency, efficiency is going to find out. Then find out. How when the load is changing, how the efficiency is going to change. And finally, we will be able to plot efficiency basis. How this is going to change. Here, as I said, when we want to find out the efficiency, now we require output. Output. Output is here is how to find out the breakdown. So basically, we have formula. Said that this is the RPO of engine in rotations per minute. This is top 60 over this particular RPM into RPS, and this wasn't come for this particular formula we are using for finding out the output. Now, in order to find out this particular output, what we have to measure? What is the speed? So we have to measure the speed. Right? Then you have to measure torque. So here to measure what to measure. So that is another parameter. You need to measure torque. And once you measure the torque and speed, then you will be able to count it. How to measure the speed? Now, next parameter, what you have to find out is speed. What is the input given to the engine? Input is given in the form of chemical energy, in the form of fuel. Okay. So the input can be calculated as MMS. So we need to find out what is the amount of fuel consumed by the engine multiplied by the calorie. So either we have to measure the fuel in volumetric basis or in a gravimetric basis. Volumetric basis means amount of volume, that is cc per unit, and gravimetric means kg per or grams per unit. Depends on you, whatever unit you have to use. Okay. So that multiplied by cv of the. So if cv is in the form of per kg, then you will make it into gravity. Okay. So accordingly, you have to manage the units. This is the advice form. So we need to find out the. So if you measure this particular three parameters. Then you substitute over here to find the upon 60. Here, so this particular formula will become pi n t upon 60,000 kilo. This much kilowatts divided by this will be your okay. So the three measurements you have to take is one related to n, one related to t, one related to n. All the others are constant. Okay, so depending on which kind of fuel, if you are using petrol, it's the CPF petrol. If you are using the diesel, it's the CPF. Right? This you have to find out measuring mode. So I will show you how to measure that out. Then RPM, we have a tachometer. We have to use tachometer to find out. And the torque, all the metrics are having diameter. So we have different types of tachometer with masses. I think this is regarding now. What you want to know? What is the problem coming when you got basically as such no problems because when tachometer is there, you can get direct. Now readings you are getting on diameter, you are getting in you can directly find out. Suppose we have a low brake diameter. Low brake diameter. So, will be here something like this. And here we will get the speed balance. Now, discuss this. Now, how to find out the torque using this? Here we said torque is equal to force into distance. Okay. Now, this is the center. This is the center. This is what we are talking about. This S, and the force is this weight W, and this spring balance rating. Suppose spring balance SPI. Spring balance. Okay. So that W minus S. This W minus S will be your force. And distance is this distance of that particular. Okay. So if you substitute this, then now
check the patient.
already a B. And so what can do? This is a very good effect of the person. Right? So that is simple. So आता तुमच्याकडे व्हील आहे तुमचं डायमीटर तुम्हाला आम्ही जर नाही दिलं just measure the perimeter and find out the radius. So this is your radius, this is your radius, and this is your F is equal to W. This one will be here there will be some burette on the you might have studied in the chemistry lab burette. So one glass something like this you look at and there will be marking. So this is connected to engine. This is connected to engine. And first making marking presently this is the level of the okay, and we'll start it. After some amount of time, suppose 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the level is here. That means this much amount of volume of fuel is being consumed. So you can find out what is the amount of fuel consumed per unit. Okay, so here this is connected to as the engine, depending on what is the load of the engine, what is the speed of the engine, the amount of fuel consumed is going to change. As the speed increases, the number of cost increases. Obviously, the fuel consumption increases. Correct? When the load increases, obviously the fuel consumption increases. When the load increases, fuel consumption decreases. Speed increases, fuel consumption decreases. Correct. So as the speed and load is going to change, then the fuel consumption is going to change. And what you are supposed to find out is at a particular speed, at a particular load, what is your fuel? So that much kg or whatever the cc per unit time. Okay, that will be the unit. And you substitute this as a constant. So once you find out this much, you are able. Okay, so what we will be doing? The talking of loads. Notice what we will be doing. We will be changing the loads. We will be changing the load step by step. We have a provision to change the load at particular all the districts. So we go on increasing the load. Now, when load increased, okay, load increased, whatever correspondingly your consumption that you will measure, you find out this, and you will get the efficiency, and you are going to not see those. Once again, let me know whether I am audible properly. Online? Somebody let me know.
Bluetooth connect केली.
So I hope I have explained the procedure. What is supposed to be done? Is there any doubt anybody having related to what we are going to do in the experiment? Anybody? Okay. Anybody having any problem? Anybody having any problem with respect to what is being supposed to be done in the experiment? बघा बरं. ब्लूटूथ कनेक्टेड नाही. मी कानाला लावून बसलो.
मला वाटतं तुमच्या मोबाईलमध्ये तुम्ही जॉईन केलाय.
नाही त्यांनी म्हणले मी त्यांना कनेक्ट करा म्हणलं होतं. त्यांनी कनेक्ट केले म्हणलं म्हणताना
ब्लूटूथच कनेक्ट आहे. माझ्याला कनेक्ट.
ब्लूटूथला तुमच्या ब्लूटूथ नाही का?
काय करा तुमच्या मोबाईल चालू करा. ब्लूटूथ तुमच्या ह्याला कनेक्ट आहे ना काय? मग तुम्ही त्याला कनेक्ट.
माझं कनेक्टेड नेहमीच असतं. मला वाटलं त्यांनी कनेक्ट केलं.
दत्ता.
Okay. Am I audible?
मोबाईल.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it is fine, I think. बरोबर. हे झालं आता. So anybody having any problem with respect to whatever has been discussed? काय करतोय याच्याबद्दल काय कोणाला शंका आहे का? आपण काय करतोय कोणाला शंका आहे का? ऑनलाईन जे आहे त्यांना सिंपल प्रोसिजर आपण करतोय. काय करतोय? आपल्याला एफिशियन्सी फाइंड आउट करायची आहे. कशाची एफिशियन्सी फाइंड आउट करायची आहे? इंजिनची. कशी फाइंड आउट करायची? आपल्याकडे फॉर्म्युला आहे. फॉर्म्युला कुठला आहे? आउटपुट अपॉन इनपुट. आउटपुट कशाला फाइंड आउट करायचं? 2π अपॉन 60,000. बरोबर. इनपुट काय आहे? MF इंटू CV. आउटपुट साठी आला का आपल्याला N आणि T माहित नाहीये, बाकी सगळं माहिती आहे. 2 माहिती आहे, पाय माहिती आहे, 60 कॉन्स्टंट आहे. सगळं कॉन्स्टंट आहे. सो ऑल दिस आर कॉन्स्टंट्स. ओके. And here this is a constant. So what is remaining? The remaining is N, T and MF. These are now the three parameters which are remaining to be find out. N फाइंड आउट करण्यासाठी आपण काय करणार? टॅकोमीटर घेणार. कॉन्टॅक्ट टाइप टॅकोमीटर आहेत आपल्याकडे. लावले का? बसले का ते? सोडा की मग. हा पडत नाही ना. हा, मला टॅकोमीटर आणून द्या. ओके सर, आपल्याला टॅकोमीटर यूज करून एन फाइंड आउट करता येते. टी फाइंड आउट करायचं कसं मी एक्सप्लेन केलं. सो टी इज इक्वल टू टॉर्क इज इक्वल टू फोर्स इंटू परपेंडिक्युलर डिस्टन्स. फोर्स आपल्याला फाइंड आउट करायला एक स्प्रिंग बॅलन्स रिडिंग आहे जिकडे लोड अटॅच केले. लोड वेट, लोड वॉट एव्हर इज देअर multiplied by the spring balance reading, that will be your force, and perpendicular distance is the radius of this particular drum. So using that you can find out the torque. So substitute over here and mf. In order to find out the mf, what you have to do, we have to go for finding out what is the volume of fuel being consumed by the engine per unit time. So we will set the parameters constant. एक लोड समजा 5 kg, मी काय केलं, पहिल्यांदा 5 kg लोड घेतला डायनामीटर वरती आणि 5 kg लोडला करस्पॉन्डिंगली काहीतरी स्पीड असेल ते फिक्स केलं. आता मी त्याला हात लावत नाहीये. आता मी काय करणार, आता फ्युएल किती कन्झ्युम होतं हे चेक करणार. सो फ्युएल कसं कन्झ्युम करायचं, पहिल्यांदा इथं व्हॉट एव्हर द व्हॅल्यू इनिशियल रिडिंग मायनस फायनल रिडिंग आफ्टर सपोज 10 minutes. Okay, per minute how much fuel is consumed. So that will be given in volume. That will give in volume. This you can convert it into mass if you have no density of the fuel. Right? Mass and volume interchangeable. So you can find out the mass. So mass of the fuel multiplied by calorific value of the fuel, that will be input. काय अवघड आहे? Simple. आता फक्त आपण वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे इंजिन बघूया. जरा टॅकोमीटर दाखवा. ओके, तर हे आपलं टॅकोमीटर आहे, दिसतंय का? हा, तर याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला इथं ऑन केलं की आपल्याला इथं रिडिंग येतं. तर इथं आपल्याला रिडिंग येते सेल बदला आता. हा, सो here this is a indicator where we are going to get the reading related to RPM. Okay, and what we will be doing is, here you have a shaft. This is a contact type of tachometer. You will go and touch at the center of the shaft. So this point will be rotating along with the shaft. So this will count how much rotations this particular tip is going to rotate. So this particular instrument will measure the number of rotations per unit time, and that will be displayed over here. So this is how we use the tachometer. So we know the tachometer. Then I will show once again this and MF. This is related to this. I will show you on the engine. Now we can take this here. आता इकडे या. ठीक, कॅमेरा घ्यायचा. आपण त्या इंजिन कडे पहिल्यांदा जाऊया. या इंजिन कडे. So this is our single cylinder diesel engine. या की पुढे या. पुढे या. तुम्ही इकडे या. हा, या तुम्ही पुढे इकडे. Okay, so this is our single cylinder diesel engine. As usual, this is the cylinder part, this is the crankcase part, this is your cylinder head part. This is the shaft which is we are having as output, or here we can say having an output. Now on the output shaft we have connected with this particular pulley and we have connected a rope. So this is called as a rope brake dynamometer. This is called as a rope brake dynamometer. And what is there in the rope brake dynamometer? You can see over here there is a rope on this particular pulley and here there is a spring balance. So what we will be doing over here, by tightening this we are going to add the weight. Instead of putting the load over there, here we have made a measurement arrangement for increasing or decreasing the load here, where you can tighten this and you can get the directly reading. इथं आपण काय म्हटलं होतं, load minus spring balance reading. इथं काय की आपल्याला इथं direct मिळते. Okay, so and you measure the perimeter of this and find out the diameter. So once you know the diameter and this particular reading, then you are able to find out the torque. Okay, so once torque is known, now what about the speed? Speed, either you have to measure it over here or you have to measure it there. Now, if you measure here, इकडनं मागणे. If you measure here, this is the shaft from where you are operating your valve mechanism. That means Valve mechanism is supposed to operate half the speed in a 4-stroke engine. Correct? That means this shaft is rotating at half a speed of the crankshaft. So already here there is some gearing, and it is ensured that this particular shaft is rotating at half the speed of the crankshaft. So if you measure the speed over here, that will be the half the speed. So in order to find out actual speed, you have to multiply it by 2. Or else you have to measure on that side, that will be your actual speed. But what happens is, here there is a pulley and a rope, and there is a friction between the pulley and the rope, and due to the friction between pulley and rope, that is getting heated up, and we will be continuously pouring water on it to cool it, and therefore we cannot use the tachometer over there because of the presence of water, and that is why we will be using it here. So we will be measuring here, putting the tachometer over here. So whenever the shaft is rotating, the tip of the tachometer will be rotating at the same speed of that of a shaft, and whatever value you are getting on the tachometer multiplied by 2 will be your RPM. So measure the RPM over here. Now coming to the next parameter, what we want to measure, that is the fuel. Here you can see, here there is some burette, and in this particular burette you can see the fuel, and this is connected to the engine. So you can see this is an injector. So the fuel coming from here is connected to the injector. That means as the engine is running, the fuel will be consumed. So here you can see another connection is going to the tank. So first what we will do, we will switch off the connection from the tank side, and you can see the fuel is coming into the burette, and then we'll stop the fuel supply from here. Now we know the top level, initial reading. So you can change it as per your requirement. कुठेतरी तुम्ही त्याला घेऊन ठेवायचं, किंवा थोड्या वेळ रन करून समजा आता मला इथून स्टार्ट करायचंय, मी इथे एक मार्किंग केलंय, इथं आलं की तुमचं स्टॉपवॉच ऑन करायचं, and then you will go for measuring it. इथं काय केलंय, इथं हे 50 ml आहे, इथून इथपर्यंत किंवा इथून इथपर्यंत 50 ml आहे. You can count what is the time required to consume 50 ml. Both. म्हणजे 10 मिनिटं चालू करून फ्युएल किती गेले ते मेजर करू शकता, किंवा 50 ml फ्युएल कंझ्युम होण्यासाठी किती टाइम लागतंय मेजर करू शकता. बोथ इज वन द सेम. तर इथून इथपर्यंत 50 ml आहे, इथून इथपर्यंत 50 ml आहे. तर काय करायचं, पहिल्यांदा इथून स्टार्ट करायचं, स्विच ऑफ स्टॉपवॉच चालू करायचं, इथं आलं की स्टॉपवॉच बंद करायचं. यू कॅन गेट द टाइम. So 50 ml divided by that whatever time, that will give you the amount of fuel consumed per unit time. So you got the speed, you got the IMF. Now remaining the torque. Now for torque, as you said over here, we have the radius of this particular drum and the reading of spring balance. Okay, force multiplied by perpendicular distance. So that will give you T. So 2.T upon 60. Output is all now available with you, as well as input in the form of MF into CV is available. Once you know all these particular readings, you are able to find out the efficiency. Now, what initially you can see over here, now I have adjusted it to something 2 kg. So these are kg. So you can change the kg. You can see over here. I will take this as a 2 or 3, or I can make it 5. So you go on increasing 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg, 5 kg. Like that, you can go up on increasing the load. Okay. So load multiplied by perpendicular distance, that will be your torque. Okay. So change the load. Correspondingly, this is a constant speed engine. So speed will not change. What the engine will do? Governor will come into action, and governor will ensure that fuel supply to the engine will be increasing in order to maintain the speed constant. Because this particular engine is used for power generation, where the frequency has to be maintained constant, output frequency of the generator. So which we require constant speed engine. So if a engine is supposed to give a constant speed output, that means there should be some provision in that. And what is the provision made? There is a governor. So where is the governor? So governor is here. Here there is a governor. I will show the governor over here. Here the same engine, Haryana. Here you can see inside this is a governor. It's a governor. So what this governor will do? And here reduction मी मगाशी बोललो ते speed reduction. He output shaft आहे, परंतु हे reduce करून half वर आणलं. कशासाठी आपल्याला इथं वॉल ऑपरेटिंग मेकॅनिझम करायचं. तर ह्याच्या बाजूला इकडं ही इथं वॉल ऑपरेटिंग दिसते मेकॅनिझम. यू कॅन सी द वॉल ऑपरेटिंग मेकॅनिझम ओव्हर हिअर. त्याच्यावरनं ही वॉल ऑपरेट होत आहे. तिकडून बघा तुम्ही, ही मी फिरवलं की तुम्हाला वॉल ऑपरेट होताना दिसते. होतात का वॉल ऑपरेट? येस, इथं पण दिसतंय तुम्हाला वॉल ऑपरेट झालेली. ओके, सो दिस इज रोटेटिंग at half the speed of this. That is why we are saying that we are measuring over here and multiply by 2. बरोबर. त्याच्याबरोबर इथं गव्हर्नर आहे. सो द गव्हर्नर विल एन्श्योर दॅट द स्पीड ऑफ द इंजिन रिमेन्स कॉन्स्टंट. त्यामुळं इथं जी काय स्पीड असेल ती तुम्हाला या इंजिन मध्ये कॉन्स्टंट तुम्हाला दिसेल कंटिन्युअस. बट इफ यू गो फॉर दॅट इंजिन देअर विल बी चेंज इन द स्पीड along as you go on changing the load. But here in this particular engine, since this is a constant speed type of engine, there will not be much change in the. थोडा असेल, एक 5-10 RPM इकडे तिकडे चेंज होईल, परंतु जास्त होणार का? कारण गव्हर्नर आहे. गव्हर्नर काय करतोय, as the speed increases it will increase the fuel supply and it will ensure that speed is maintained. Speed आपण लोड कमी केला काय, what it will do, it will decrease the fuel supply because as the load is increased the engine tend to increase the speed. The speed एकदा वाढायला लागलं, governor will come into action, decrease the fuel supply and bring the speed back. बरोबर. So this is about the single cylinder 4-stroke diesel engine where you are measuring the speed, you are measuring the MF, you are measuring the torque. Understood? Any doubt online? Students, any doubt in how to measure the parameters? Anybody having any doubt?
No, sir.
Since nobody is answering, yeah, good. Thank you for confirmation. Now we'll go on to the multi-cylinder 4-stroke engine. Now we can come over this side. तुम्ही इथे आतमध्ये या. You can come here. Yes. So here you have a multi-cylinder 4-stroke petrol engine. This is a Maruti make engine, okay, where it is of 3 cylinders. So on what basis? You can see these are the spark plugs where we have 3 spark plugs corresponding to 3 cylinders. Okay, and these are the switches given to switch on and off the spark plugs. म्हणजे हे on side ला केलं, now the spark will happen at that particular spark plug. हे पहिला ऑन केलं की पहिल्या सिलेंडर मध्ये स्पार्क होणार. हे जर मी ऑफ केलं तर दुसऱ्या आणि तिसऱ्या सिलेंडर मध्ये स्पार्क होणार आहे. ते कशासाठी केले ते मला नंतर सांगतो. आता हे फक्त ऑन ठेवायचं एवढं लक्षात ठेवा, कारण तरच स्पार्क होणार आहे. बरोबर. And you can see these are the 3 manifold, inlet manifold where fuel is being supplied. Okay, or this is a this is a exhaust manifold. So this is a exhaust from first cylinder, second cylinder, third cylinder. This is a after treatment device for the exhaust, and then it is going to exhaust. Okay, so muffler over there. Now the fuel system starts from here, the tank. Here it goes to the burette, similar to that. Okay, and here there is a provision for changing the speed. Okay, here by rotating this, you are able to rotate the caliper over here or the butterfly valve over here. So you can see over here, this particular butterfly inside this will change its position. So you can see the butterfly inside this will change its position corresponding to when I am rotating this particular accelerator. So acceleration मी इथं ही फिरवलं की काय होणार आहे, इंजिन ऍक्सलरेट होणार आहे, स्पीड वाढणार आहे किंवा कमी होणार आहे. ओके, सो आय कॅन चेंज द स्पीड हिअर. Along with that, I can change the load over here. So here there is a torque controller. Okay, so by rotating this, I can change the load. Now where to see the load? So the load can be seen over there. So here, this is what is this? Can you read over here? Eddy current dynamometer. There it was rope brake dynamometer. Here it is eddy current dynamometer. So different type of dynamometer is used, and whatever the load is there, that you can read over there. म्हणजे मी हे फिरवलं इथं, हे फिरवलं की काय चेंज होणार, तिथं किती लोड चेंज होणार आहे ती आपल्याला दिसणार. सो अकॉर्डिंग I will change the current over supply over here, and correspondingly the load on the shaft, which is in the eddy current form, that I am changing, and that will be displayed over there. So this manual of this particular eddy current manometer has given certain formula. That formula has to be used to find out the force. So there we know perpendicular distance and all such things. Here, this reading multiplied by the constant given for this particular eddy current has to be used to find out the torque. Okay, so this reading multiplied by the constant will give the torque. Now, for measuring the speed, what is the provision made? So here inside let me check out. There is a proximity sensor over here. I'll show you. Wait over there. Here. Here, can you see this? Can you something I have hold it? Yeah. Here there is a proximity sensor. You take proximity sensor basala here inside this. Okay. So every time this rotates, this proximity sensor will read 1. Next time it comes 2, 3. I केले ह्या shaft वरती nut बसवलाय. Sorry, bolt बसवलाय. तो bolt ते shaft बरोबर फिरतो. The bolt त्या सेन्सरच्या वरच्या बाजूला आला की it will count 1. आला की it will count 2. Every time it comes, that will count as 1, 2, 3. So that will measure the RPM. There we use a tachometer. Here we are using a proximity sensor to measure the speed, and the same speed will be displayed over here. There is a speed indicator, digital speed indicator over here. Here, whatever the sensor senses over there, that signals will be converted and it will be displayed over here in terms of RPM. So you can measure the RPM over here. You can measure the torque over there. 2 parameters. Measure the fuel over here per unit time. Same formula you can use to find out the efficiency. Okay. So I think I have explained related to this particular 2 instruments regarding how we can conduct the load test on single cylinder diesel engine and multi-cylinder petrol engine. Any doubt with respect to this? With respect to load test, anybody having, please ask. काय डाऊट आहे का? अजून काय डाऊट असेल इंजिन बद्दल काय असेल ही तुम्हाला सांगतो. हे काय आहे ते नंतर की पुढच्या मोस्ट टेस्ट आपण घेणार आहे. त्या मोस्ट टेस्ट साठी ती व्यवस्था केलेली आहे. पुढच्या वेळी आपण घेताना मोस्ट टेस्ट घेऊ त्यावेळेला मी तुम्हाला ते सांगतो. त्याच्या व्यतिरिक्त दुसरं काय आहे का? दिस इज अ MPFI इंजिन, मल्टी पॉइंट फ्युअल इंजेक्शन टाइप ऑफ इंजिन. द फ्युअल फ्रॉम हियर goes here. You can see there is a pump over here. Okay, so the fuel will come to here and from here it will go to, I can show you. Here there is a mechanism and there is 1 minute. There's a pump actually. This is your pump. This is a storage for that. From this particular pump, fuel will be pumped and it will go to ignition system आहे. Distributor आहे ignition system ची. एक मिनिट. हे spark plug आहेत. कुठे गेलं? Okay, I will show you later. I will identify exact locations. So what is there? There are injectors. Okay, being a MPFI injector, you know the 3 locations where you can inject the fuel is at the nearer to the wall, in the manifold, and nearer to where the air is coming in. 3 locations are there. So somewhere it will be injected. So that is how the MPFI principle works. So we have here a storage, a filter, a storage, and a pump. And from this particular pump, fuel goes to the injectors and it will be injected inside. Okay, so MPFI engine, here, this is a shaft connected. This is a eddy current manometer. Here you get the reading. Here there's a proximity sensor you measure to use to measure the speed. Okay, here you measure the load, and there you measure the fuel. So once you know everything about this, obviously again here there is a water arrangement. So water is required because This will be also used to calculate the heat balance sheet, which we have not discussed till date in the class. Okay. Once you discuss the heat balance sheet, you will be understanding why this particular water arrangement is being used. Okay, that we can do later. At least for now, with respect to this experiment, anything which you want to understand more. अजून कोणाला ह्यातलं काही माहिती पाहिजे का? With respect to this experiment. काय doubts? जी कुठले पॉइंट तुम्हाला समजली नाही. एकदा इंजिन चालू करा. ठेवा. दोन्ही इंजिन चालू करून दाखवा त्यांना. And you take readings if you want. Now my part is over. Now you take your readings and do the calculation and show me drawing the graphs. Okay. Any doubt you now itself ask. यातलं काय समजलं नाही, प्रोसिजर समजली का? काय करायचं समजलं? कसं करायचं समजलं? काय डाऊट नाही? नो. आता एक्सपेरिमेंट कंडक्ट करायचं, रिडिंग्स घ्यायचे, मला कॅल्क्युलेशन करून दाखवायचे. तुम्ही राईटअप करून दाखवू नका, फक्त मला कॅल्क्युलेशन करून मला फक्त ग्राफ काढून दाखवा. दॅट्स ऑल. या रिडिंग्स आणि you do the calculations. I hope for those who are on the online, the experimentation part is over now. Okay. Now those who are here present offline, they will do the necessary calculations, take the readings, and you can get the readings from those who are present over here offline. And next time onwards, those who are on the offline also try to come, online also come here, be present, take the readings, and have a feel of doing the experiment in engineering. कारण मला वाटत नाही तुम्ही 2-3 वर्षात काहीतरी एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन नावाचं काहीतरी केलंय इंजिनिअरिंग मध्ये येऊन. मला वाटतंय पहिलेच असणार आहे. ओके. सो फॉर दोज हु आर ऑन द ऑनलाइन, द इंजिन हॅज बीन स्टार्टेड. यू कॅन सी, यू कॅन हिअर द साऊंड. आय होप. कशाला बंद करा, बंद करू नका. कशाला बंद केलं? करा की चालू. कशाला ती फिरवत बसायला लागला? अहो ती फिरलं की बॅटरी उतरत्या. सोडा ती बॅटरी. आता परत चावीला हात लावायचा. काय थांबायचे? एक काम करा, त्याच्यावर दॅट इज अ बेटर. ओके, यू टेक द रीडिंग ऑफ दॅट विल बी इझियर. यू टेक ऑन दॅट एक्सप्लेन. आता ही फक्त आपण एक्सप्लेन करू. सो यू कॅन सी द engine is operating. Okay, running. Where now we will be measuring the torque over here. असू दे चालू, असू दे चालू. मी बंद करतो, तुम्ही जावा ती चालू करा. So you will be measuring the torque over here. Okay, so this particular torque can be varied by changing the knob over here. You rotate this and you can change the load. Okay, load will be changed. So as per our requirement, this will be rotating, and when I switch on this, you can see the digital tachometer. Here you can measure the speed of the engine, and here different temperatures related to input temperature, like incoming air temperature, outgoing exhaust temperature, incoming water temperature, outgoing cooling water temperature, all such temperature corresponding to this, whatever is written T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, etc. will can be, and here you can measure the amount of fuel consumed. So hope you have understood everything, and we will stop our experimentation over here. Thank you.
All the students,
Please mark your attendance online. chat. Before leaving, put your attendance roll numbers in the chat box before leaving. All the students present online, please mark your attendance. I hope everybody is hearing. I hope everybody is hearing me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please mark
Yes,
your
sir.
attendance. Yes, please mark your attendance in the chat box and you can leave because the student present over here offline are taking the readings. You can take the readings from them and do the necessary calculations as per the instructions given. So any doubt you are having, please ask, else you can mark your attendance and leave.